I suck in chess. I've never played chess, and if I played those 2 games, I lost them against the bots. I'm tired of being dumb, so I asked a friend, Alessia, to teach me how to be good in chess. And we have a challenge. In 30 days, I have to get to 1000 elo, starting from, I think I'm at 200.
I try to wave to your YouTube.
I saw this.
So yeah, today we make it as official first day of the challenge.
Yes.
So basically we were doing some math and we also saw your account and we wanted to try to understand if I like mathematically it's a feasible challenge.
Okay.
Also, like, I want to have, basically, this is my plan. We will have a shared document where after every single game, you write game 1 of the challenge.
Yeah.
You play 1 game, and then you write game 1. And you write 1 sentence or 2 sentences of what we have learned, or if you have a question for me about the game. So the idea to make actually this challenge succeed is that we need to focus on the 20% that will make you improve the fastest, because you have limited time. You cannot train every day. There are people that train like 8 hours per day. We have to do the same in 2 hours. So in order to do that, you just need to focus on what really matters. And that's why I forbid you to check YouTube videos about chess, to browser about chess is forbidden. You just do what I tell you to do.
Okay.
So, start date of the challenge is today.
Yes.
All right, so Julia, you know how to move every piece, right?
Yes.
You know the chess rules.
Yes.
You know what is castle.
When you take the rook and the king and you
The king?
swap them.
Do you
Yes.
know en passant?
And Passant is when the pawn eats in a weird way, right?
It's a weird, okay, so maybe this we will...
That one, yeah.
Okay, let's review shortly the rules then. How is the pawn moving?
Straight forward by 1 or 2 if it's the first move.
Perfect. And is capturing?
Like diagonally.
What about the rook?
Straight. As long as it wants, straight.
So the rook is moving up and down, and also right and left, right?
Yeah.
Bishop is moving on diagonals, and how is the knight moving?
L, in a L.
You know already pretty much everything. I'll show you the en passant then. So we got to this random position, and it's black to move. Now, in order to have the en passant, you have to have a very precise position with the pawns. Look at this pawn here, and look at this pawn there.
Okay.
Now, if black is pushing the pawn 2 steps, this pawn is passing by a square controlled by the white pawn.
Yeah.
So for the next move, and just for the next move, you can take that pawn en passant. It's like if you said, oh, you passed by a square controlled. It's like if the pawn was moving and you just catch him on the way.
Oh, only when the opponent is doing a 2-step.
Only for, I mean, if the opponent is making 1 step, you can just take it anyway, no? But if the opponent is making a 2-step, just for the next move, you can take it.
Okay.
But attention, if, for example, let's make c6, if now the pawn is going from 1 step to another step, you can't take it anymore. Is it all clear about the en passant?
Yeah, it's pretty clear. Someone in my chat said, sorry, don't want to offend, but reaching 1000 elo from 300 in 30 days is basically impossible. Maybe you should try going to 500. Lemon juice, watch me. Watch me. All right.
Actually, I don't think it's impossible. I actually think can be done. I have seen people in my stream doing some really crazy things. Of course, some of them were investing more time, but also didn't have a guide. So I think we can do it. Watch us.
Yeah, watch us, for real.
Let's see first of all how to give checkmate. Julia, you need to give a checkmate now in 1.
Checkmate is... I put the queen on h7. It's a kiss of death.
It's the kiss of death that we saw. So in general, what is the definition of checkmate? Is when you're giving a check, then the king cannot move in any square, and the king cannot move in those squares because they are controlled by
the queen and the king.
And then not the king, neither any other piece can capture the piece that gives a check. Can somebody take the queen?
No, because then the king will eat it.
Exactly. The king cannot take because the queen is protected by the king. So this is checkmate. But there is a fun situation. Let's say that you would have played queen there. Can black play any move?
No, because any move would be either checkmate.
Yeah, would be not legal. Basically, if the king goes to a square where it can be captured, it's not a legal move, so you can't make it. So this is what is a stalemate. When one player cannot make any single move, but is not under check, is not checkmate.
And this
another
is
position.
a win for white, right?
No, it's a draw.
It's a draw?
Because it's not checkmate.
Yeah, but it's...
I know, it's an unfair rule.
So why would white ever do a move like that?
Because sometimes we make mistakes.
Oh. So the black could actually like try to get into a stalemate by maybe getting some pawn eaten in, so then the other person doesn't notice, and then it's draw. You thought you would win?
You are a genius. Actually, this is a very good strategy. How to save lost positions. When you're completely lost, you could try to give away all your pieces and see if your opponent is able to give checkmate, or you might end up in a stalemate. That's a very good...
We should have started bets if I can get to the 1,000.
We should, and I suggest you a challenge.
What is it?
I know that we both have something in common, and is that we love chocolate.
Yes.
So if you don't get to 1,000, we both need to do 30 days without chocolate.
No. You trust me too much. That's a lot of responsibility.
If it's something that could motivate you even more, we can do that. If not, we don't do it. You have to decide.
I feel the pressure.
I mean, for me, it's going to be hard 30 days.
I know, for me too. Like yesterday, I had dinner with a bar of chocolate.
Oh.
If I say yes, then I'm gonna have so much pressure. If I say no, I will feel like shit because I don't believe in myself. So I'm gonna say yes. I rather feel pressure than don't believe in myself.
The lesson of the pieces of all the chess rules, now you know everything. So we move to the next step. I will present you all the pieces again, but now in a very interesting and advanced way. Let's start with the knight. This is one of the most curious concepts in chess because the knight is a very special piece. So can you tell me in which square can this knight go?
Here?
Yes.
It can go here and that's it.
Exactly. So the knight on the very edge of the board can just go to 2 squares and can also control just 2 squares. And in chess, every time you control a square, you control those squares. Now, this knight can go just to 2 squares. Let's go with this one on a5.
This one can go here, can go here, can go here, and can go here.
So this knight is not exactly at the edge of the board, but is in one of either on the or on a side file or on the final rank. So the corner is 2 squares. So on the edge is 4 squares. Instead, this is the knight is on a central squares, one of the 4 central square. How many squares is this knight having?
Is it like all the white ones around him, like this?
Exactly.
All the white in the circle around him. Okay, that's a smart way to think about it.
This knight can actually go in 8 squares.
Okay.
So actually this knight, the knight in the center, compared to the knight on the edge, on the corner, is like 4 times stronger because it's controlling 4 times more squares. And in general, squares towards the center of the board are more powerful than squares on the edge, on the corners, on the sides of the board. So here we have the bishops. Actually, the bishops are also having a difference if they are located on some squares. For example, now this bishop on the corner is just controlling 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 squares, right? Instead, this bishop that is in the center is controlling 7 plus 6.
Yeah, a lot.
So it's 13. But as you can notice, the difference is less extreme than a knight because it's just like the double. That's why in general the knight is very important to go towards the center. Instead, the bishop is doing quite a good job also from far away. In fact, sometimes the bishops are developed in fianchetto. We will see then that they are developed towards the side. So you don't have to put always a bishop in the center because the bishop is part of the category of high range pieces. So how many square is this rook controlling? How many square is the red and the yellow rook?
They're controlling the same, right? Because one is gaining from the left, but the other one is gaining from the right, more
exactly
things,
that's why actually for the rook makes no difference. Usually it's very nice when you can have a rook on the 7th rank with the white pieces because there are all the pawns that are like pins that if you get a rook there, maybe you can capture one after each other like a Pac-Man. This is something that we will see. That is usually a very smart position for a rook because there are usually lots of pawns there and you can take one pawn after each other. So the rook doesn't need to be in the center because it's strong from every square.
Okay.
And the same is for the queen because it's basically a rook plus a bishop. It controls a bit more squares in the center of the board, but is not so extreme like the knight.
Okay.
That's why in general, the knight is one of the most important pieces
have in
that
the middle.
prefers the center rather than the corner. The last piece that we need to see is the king. That doesn't like the center. He likes to be protected.
Yeah.
He likes to be castled. He likes to have pawns around him, protecting like a shield. Because if you get checkmated, you lose your game.
Yeah.
So this was a small introduction to the pieces, just to understand a bit the logic behind every piece.
Impression after the very first class of chess. There's a lot of notions that I have to get into my brain, and I feel like sometimes I get distracted. I think that by practice, I can get there. I'm scared of like, what if I don't get it in 30 days and I have to get rid of chocolate for 1 month. I'm also scared because I will be leaving on a trip on the 15th, and I hope that that will not affect my learning. We will see, but I think that it's really exciting, especially because there's a lot of people playing chess, so it could be a really nice challenge against people that I know and friends. For sure, I'm excited of like replacing chess with my like mindless scrolling throughout social medias. Alessia is a very, very good teacher. I think that she's really good at like not making me feel dumb, because that was my biggest issues, right, with chess. The fact that I feel dumb while playing, or like while losing. So I think that her mindset of like making me feel comfortable and telling me, yeah, that's a good idea, but also it's really helping me to build a little bit of confidence with chess. So I think that she has the right mindset for it. We will see. This is for the very first day of chess. I will make a Notion page where you can find all the classes with all the links and all my notes in there. Follow the class if you want to also get to have 1000, or just maybe improve a little bit, or just have the basic about chess.